in to what you call a falling knife or something like that. I think I've heard you say.
Right. You don't buy a falling knife and you stay out of it, you miss the entry, right? So here's the thing, right? So if you look at the market when you first logged in, the first thing you always do is get on the 30 minute, right? Me personally, I get on the 30 minute. I'm gonna just make
Okay.
sure I erased everything. Um, so let's mark out real quick where was 9 a.m.
Okay, hold on. So we're going to start with the 9 a.m.
So basically,
chart.
let's say that we got in the market at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Why does it look like though? Let's just say we woke up and that's the 9 a.m. candle right there. You see that 9 a.m.? All right. So one thing that you have
Oh,
to do is zoom out. We've been on a downtrend the whole time, right? You can see clearly that we've always made low highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Never made any new highs. Are you seeing that?
I am seeing that. Yes.
All right,
Okay.
perfect.
So
Now
number one,
you can tell
low
that with low
highs.
highs, right? You can see that there is some sort of trend. Now it is 9 a.m. over here, and you can tell that not only that, we had a pattern that was a reversal, and it was really, really strong. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's right there in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
What would this be considered? Right? A head and shoulders, neckline retest of what? Support turning into what?
Resistance.
Right. Now that you can see that before you even see anything, right? Your idea of the trade is what is the direction? So let's look at the point of control. For me personally, I'm always going to use 80M through 9. So fixed range volume profile right there to 9 a.m. Boom, I got my fixed range profile. I like to see the 5 minute. What do I see in the 5 minute? I can see also another thing. Yesterday at nighttime, I told you guys stay away from this PA. This is not PA you want to touch. I don't know if you read that comment, but I made a very precise review of what it was gonna look like. I told you guys it was gonna look something like this, and then it was gonna go up.
Mm-hmm.
When it went up the way it did, it was supposed to do exactly what it was supposed to do. It was more like right here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You see that, and it comes back. It was more of
Mm-hmm.
that. It was that. If you go back to the screenshot, it's exactly this right here. It wasn't in the
Mm-hmm.
exact format, but it was in a format that I've seen this before. My eyes, the moment that I saw this happen, I was like, yo, wait, I've seen this before. Why? Because we never created a higher high above here. Had we created a higher high here, I would have been like, damn, that pullback would have been more of an entry to go to the upside. Because you can see right here, there's like this huge area that didn't have any resistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I see this kind of reversal over here that never gives me a new high, I could basically say, okay, all I need to do is wait for us to go back up to do what? Come right back down. And when you look at the point of control, I'm going to mark it out right here just so it's clear. We have point of control right there. I could delete this now because I don't care about everything else. I'll put point of control, Friday, 30, 20, 26. Now, at 9, at 8:30 you can see like we're sort of like in this trend up and down, up and down, up and down, but then it breaks. You can see the gravestone doji. I talk about this all the time. The gravestone doji is a megadeth. When you look at it, more than anything is always a megadeth. Why? Because it starts with a push to the upside, and then what does it do? It taps a specific zone. It could be a supply zone, it could be like areas of liquidity or something that specifically they wanted to trigger that they have not yet triggered. So if you have sort of
Okay.
like a reversal pattern to the left, and you can see that we're coming up at least 50% of it. If I put a fib over here to the bottom, I'm giving you a lot in one go. So you have to pay attention to like almost everything that I'm doing. 1 second here. No, it's the other way around, my bad.
When you go from the bottom to the top, since yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
remember, if we drop from here, I'm looking for a retracement where? Here, right?
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
So in reality, actually it's the other way around, my bad. What am I doing? Why? I'm a little airhead. I just took like some medicine right now. So if we drop from here and we're at the zero, we're looking for a retracement where? the 30%, right? Maybe the 60%, maybe the 70%. What's up, Pretty? What's up, Jimmy?
Yo,
Hey,
How was the vacation, by the way?
mine, it was fun. It was a lot of snow. It was a lot of snow, but it was very nice. I could send you like little pictures and stuff. We found like little animal tracks. There weren't like really birds out, but it was very nice.
I'm glad to hear you had fun. I'm sure you guys enjoyed it a lot. I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad that you're back, and let's nail down the markets. So going back to what I was talking about, guys, just to fill you in, just in case you guys came in a little late. Andrea's question is, how did you know it was gonna be like a reversal? How did you know where it would have been best to enter, right? And the reason why it's good to recap these kind of things is because we all missed out on a big ass play. I mean, I saw it, I didn't take it. I should have taken it, but it is what it is. So basically overnight, you can see how basically market had like a reversal signal right here. It fell down, tapped an area of gap, which it was a strong demand zone. If you notice over here, this is an area of interest. Let's zoom out. Area of interest. You see that? Keep going is an area of interest, right? So
Mm-hmm.
basically now, if we go back to the future where we were, you're seeing how market basically tapped the zone, right? Pushed to the upside, came right back down, trapped all the buyers and pushed to the downside. So everybody's getting trapped. Now, for me, essentially, if we're making a 4 bar reversal with continuations to the upside, at open bell, I would have felt comfortable if I would have seen something that, for me to take a long, I would have felt comfortable taking a long above like 580s. I think I had mentioned to Jimmy at the live, I'm like, man, I know market's gonna go to 520, 530. Excuse me. And that's exactly what it did. And the reason why I did that was because I was talking to myself and I'm like, dude, this looks like a little reversal pattern with a breaker block, and 50% of this is basically the 520, 530 more or less. I eyeballed it, but I put a line in the, and if you look at the video, I have a line, a red line in it. And when I saw the rejection from there, the one thing I didn't get to see was seeing the 5 minute gravestone, because you know how I always call gravestone dojis, and I'm usually pretty accurate when it's a gravestone to die. I overlooked that, and I should have seen that. Because in the retracement with the fib, you can see clearly that we had made a 50% retracement, and even then, if these were stop losses that we were going for hunts, we had our hunt right there already. Compared to this, what you see on the side, we had a little gap. There was a lot of confluence of stop loss liquidity getting hunted and basically pushed to the downside. This push to the downside, these 3 bars right here, were your confirmation of direction. The moment you saw market tap at least 50% or all of it, and on top of that, we already can see that we had point of control. So if we rejected point of control and we pushed to the downside hard, we had 2 signals to be able to enter. The first one was right here, the mega dove candle, right? The second one was right here on the second entry, and basically here you were just waiting for market to give you the direction with a head and shoulder, like a double top neckline retest. Why do I say
Okay,
that?
so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. So
Go ahead.
this double. Okay, so we had the market fall,
Hmm.
and then the retest where it came back up to retest, where you just marked.
Hmm.
Um, what fib level is that? Is that the? Did it come back and test the 38%? What
So
was that fib level?
So fibs are very subjective, and I've always told you guys,
Yes.
for me
Mm-hmm.
specifically, I don't care about the big picture. I only care about what was the last swing high and the last swing low. So for me specifically, if I'm seeing this as a directional move after we couldn't make a new high, this is considered to me my swing high. Now, if I were to be subjective and be like, no, this is the highest point and this is the lowest point, right here. If I
Mm-hmm.
started like that, isn't it 50% the same thing?
50%. Yes. Okay.
It doesn't
Um,
really change much, but for me personally, when I put it at the actual level that was respecting whatever it was right here, I personally see it like, okay, I have a little above 50%, and then I can see some characteristics of a candle behavior that gives me a confirmation of direction. So you have to think of that mega def gravestone as your directional candle. And then the 3 bar inverse to do like the gap fill and then down, that was your second confirmation. Me and Jimmy at one point were trying to short, but we didn't get the zone that we wanted to get shorts. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy.
Yeah. Oh, and I want to say something too. Yeah, I also missed my entry, and then I took an L because I was trying to catch a reversal. Um, I also missed another entry around lunchtime too. Um, and that's when I just hopped off. I was just like, yeah, I'm not pulling the trigger. I think it was just because my emotions weren't in check today,
Hmm.
especially with like going live and stuff. So, I didn't think that was going to affect me, but it did. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you guys. But yeah, no. At opening bell, there was an entry for me short. It was OTE at 513, but my entry would have been at 521. So that was a complete top tick move that I just completely missed. Oh, the confluence was there's a 5 minute unfilled fair value gap. VWAP was there, and then OT. That was an A plus plus setup I missed. Plus we did it like the market structure and how market was behaving going up to that level was also like 100% valid to for me to take shorts. I just completely missed that. Um, Same with the retracement 50% pullback. That was gonna be on the first leg down. We had a change in the state of delivery, so we went to retest that, and it was a 50%. So that was my second short. I missed that. And then I was trying to catch longs for some reason. I think it was just that emotional like trades, but caused me to take an L, and then I missed another trade for OTE around lunchtime. And then, oh, not OTE, 50% retracement to retest a larger change in state delivery. And yeah, after that, I was just like, yeah, it's time to get off. I'm gonna lose a lot of money if I stayed on those charts trying to catch another long, like what we did in the PM session. So I just decided to hop off. Um, yeah, so it was an ideal day, but I mean, it happens. It happens for sure. It's just how you guys handle that those days is what makes you guys survive for the next one.
And another thing that maybe Jimmy should have taken into consideration was that it was an opportunity for him to just sit out of touching live that day just because it was the first day that was going to be available for him to touch. And especially on the triple witching day slash OPEX, it was just not favorable to be touching that account. I think you had to break into it a little bit like when it was a normal day instead of that kind of day. But hey, you
Yeah, that's for
survived and
sure.
you lived. You survived and you lived and you played with it, and I think you took good trades even if you didn't get a winning trade, you took the trade that you thought was best probable. So even if it didn't work out, it was still good. You survived. A lot of people blew accounts
Yeah.
left and right today. Trust me, guys. A lot of people.
Yeah.
They're just not gonna
So
fucking tell you.
yeah.
So going back to the whole orb thing, right, Andrea? So you can see how we were barcoding the open bell basically 930 top and the bottom. You can see how market came to the downside, created that pressure to the upside, absorbing like all the sellers, and then we broke to the top and came back down. Now, for me specifically, I can't see it very clear here, but if I were to look at the 5 minute, like I told you earlier, if I see some sort of like candle channel and it breaks strong and it retests it, I'll trust that channel break and retest as hard as I could in the future.
Okay.
So becoming aware of that, like journaling it, a channel break and retest is a direction. You have to take that for what it is. Why? Because you had a clear breakout directional move and you had a gap. Those are the two characteristics inside the orb that you can say, okay, we did do a break and retest from the channel. We broke out of the channel and we basically gave the direction with a lot of sideway movement. After that directional happened, we basically had equal highs, right? We had equal highs, a more directional move, a 3 bar reversal, like where it basically traps all the buyers, right? Pay attention to that characteristics. Wherever there's continuation candles, there's always those three. I don't know what they're called. I think they're called three knights or three crows. I don't know what the fuck they're called.
Oh, three crows. I just learned that on my I have the app. You have the candlestick app. I
I don't
forgot the name of it,
I
but
don't I don't
yeah,
have
that's
it.
what they call it.
I don't have it, but I think they
Okay.
call it something like that. There's three knights or three crows, something like that. Long story short is when you see that, especially when you see that we're like only like creating like a fake bottom and no equal low, you can continue seeing, okay, this is if you were in the top, you would be holding that. The only way you would have exited that trade is if we were above, for example, 354. If you were like continuing to the upside instead of down. So double top neckline retest basically is not a real neckline retest, but you can see two things that happen as well. You see how this was basing for support, and then we were rejecting the support one time, and then more continuation to the downside. That's another characteristic that you need to look at when you're looking at continuation candles. So we didn't catch it. You know, we saw it happen. We were just literally sitting there watching it happen the whole time. Um, I was I was personally looking for the bottom. I was able to catch a short, and it was short
Is it
lived.
my phone or are you frozen?
Say it again. At one
I
point in,
think she asked if you're frozen, but I think it's her.
oh yeah, it's probably you, Andrea. At one point, on my trade, I was able to get a short, and I took it. I was like, man, I'm shorting now because I was looking at price go to like 200, 180 more or less. I'll tell you why I chose that zone. Second here. I think it was like 211 or something like that. As a matter of fact, I could look to my left. I have my other chart open here. It was at 10:48 p.m. At 10:48 a.m. and I was aiming for 209. Let's go back to 209. So you see how basically market had a strong push to the downside over here back in March 8th. If we were gonna go all the way down, I wanted it for it to really go all the way down there. Let me show you something. Am I frozen? Oh, is that top step isn't like a maintenance thing? Oh, okay, I see. For some reason, my charts are not loading how I want them to load. Top step is under maintenance. Long story short, there's like a gap around that zone at 209, 180-ish, 130. There's like a 1 hour gap. So long story short, where am I at? Wait, why does my chart look crazy, guys? You know what? Let me go to trading view. This thing's making me go crazy.
You're on the 1 hour.
Oh, I'm in the 1 hour. That's what it was. I'm like, yo, you know what it is, guys? My bad. I'm tired as hell. Look, I have a
Good.
fever. I'm tired as hell. I took a PM. I took a PM. I took a PM tablet. And I'm like, yo, I'm freaking tired, yo.
Yo,
Who's that?
I just joined the Discord, so it's first time me seeing you speak live.
This is my middle school friend, yo. Jess, how you doing, bro?
Good, my brother. Good, good.
Hey,
Things that you.
I'm doing great, bro. Better than I deserve,
Good.
bro. We're finally with Jesse on the Discord. I'm hoping that he joins us on the prop firm world, guys. So Jesse's a forex trader. I don't think he's dabbled with futures yet. Have you yet or no?
No, 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 not at all.
We're about to turn him into the dark side, guys. Jess, I'm telling you, man, you're missing out on a lot of plays, bro. With prop firms, you don't have to use your capital. You basically leverage $2,000 of a balance for 50 bucks, and bro, you just milk the shit out of it. Um,
Nice.
so yeah,
I'm
like
excited. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give it a shot.
do it,
I'm gonna
bro.
give it a shot.
So long story short, I was able to I was able to take a short at 10:48. Look at this, guys, real quick. Where is it at? 10:48. Right over here. Somewhere around here, I took a short. Somewhere around here, I took a short. It was going down, and then I exited at the very bottom. Guys, if you look at the video of what I posted, I exited that trade perfectly. Because if I had not closed that trade, I would have been nervous holding that trade. I would have held it, and I would have been in drawdown, and I would have been in all this zigzag. But something inside of me, when I looked at the 5 second chart, I was like, man, I don't like how it's moving. It's not moving good. And I shut it down. I shut it down so quick. Where is it at? 10:48 right here. Right there. All right, so when I was looking at it, I was absorbing that it was just like falling. It was like 10:48. Yeah, it was falling, and then suddenly when I saw a stall right here with some kind of push to the upside, I was like, yeah, I gotta get out of this trade, dude. And I got out of the trade at 700. It was like $780 floating, and I got out for like 714 or something like that. I was hoping that it would tap 209 or like 180 and exit. That would have been like 1,800, 1,700, but it didn't happen. So as you can see, market came to the upside, took out all these stop losses, and basically just ranged until they actually made the move. I think I took a nap somewhere along the day, and then it actually pulled into that 200 zone. You can see how market came into 170, 160, and then pushed back into like out of the 200 zone. Because remember, it was a 1 hour gap. It is a 1 hour gap. So it being a 1 hour gap, I'm pretty sure a lot of traders entered there to buy, and market just flushed. Market just flushed. When I saw the market create this right here, at the end of the day, I was like, yo, guys, we're going for an end of day rally. And that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
This happens on every triple witching day or quad witching day, whatever the hell they call it. This happens always. It always goes in one direction and then it reverses hard at the end of the day. So
Do you think they're trying to catch up with the prices? I've always noticed that it goes down and then it does a rally because it's catching up. Because if you notice, when the new um, indice open up, it's always 50. I'm sorry, it's always 300 more than what it was before. And I think when it does this big fall like this, it's just catching up to to where the market truly needs to be.
I
That's what
wouldn't
I found.
I wouldn't really know why it does what it does, to be honest with you. But I can tell you one thing. One of my best observations is that with the fib, when you do the swing high, swing low for that specific day, you can absorb that the retracement is always into that 50%. So what would happen next is we would hope for a pullback into like the bottom right here and then continuation to the top because of the way that the market drops so much. Now, my mentor this beginning of this week told me specifically that 23,800 would be the bottom of the market. So the fact that we were really, really close to that, look, we got to 23,971. He said 23,800. This motherfucker was so accurate, like by
You
this.
know what? Your mentor, I think, trades the Elliott wave. It sounds like he trades the Elliott waves and the different levels of it. Did do you know what strategy he's using to find out what the bottom is? Because that sounds like a
I,
teal five that happened today.
he's never mentioned Elliott waves, so I'm sure he doesn't trade Elliott waves. He
Okay.
used to be like a pit floor trader. Like he used to actually trade in the floor. Like he's old. He's like in his late
Oh,
50s.
okay.
Yeah. He started really, really young. I don't know how I found him. I think I found him through YouTube. I was in the YouTube comments once, and then he like kind of messaged back, and I'm like, "Hey, join my Discord." And he actually joined. He doesn't like to talk. He likes to stay like on the sidelines, but he's always watching what I talk about and everything. And I have my own little private chat with him and his friend where we're all constantly like sending ideas to each other. But yeah, like today, he saw that I pretty much called everything to the T. Because I always message them before the day starts. Here's what I see, here's what I'm thinking. And he's usually like, today he was more long bias at the open, and I was like, I'm short bias. So we were not together synchronized, but I was
Oh, I
adamant.
don't like that. Ooh,
I was adamant that it was gonna go down. So he was surprised. So he switched up to trading gold today. I think he made like
got it.
17,000. He made 17,000 on gold. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. You'll never see him chat. I've asked him to join my lives, but he doesn't join. He likes to stay outside of that. Like, I don't know why. I don't know, but whatever. He actually shared with me a picture of what he looks like recently. Finally, I'm like, yo, finally, I get to see a face to who you are, and yeah, he's pretty cool. He looks like he's from India. Really cool guy. But he
Oh,
lives,
good. Okay.
but he's pretty much like uh living in the United States. And then Steve is another one. Steve is always like in the lives, but he never talks. I don't know if you guys ever seen him. So really cool guys.
Rigo,
Really cool guys.
Rigo, and what pairs? What's the name of this pair?
This specifically is Nasdaq, but the micro.
Oh, Nasdaq.
I only put the micro up because I don't want to touch my chart. Because if you look at my Nasdaq chart, it looks crazy. I don't like touching I don't want to mess up with anything because I know when we go up, I'll have everything marked that I need for me to know where to take my trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I usually trade what we call TDO, PMO, and orb. That's all I do. Like basically that's institutional levels for me to see support and resistance.
So
Um,
you guys day trade for sure then. What you're doing here is day trading on the 5 minute, obviously. Yeah.
oh,
Right.
I'm in the 1 second chart, Papa.
1 second. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, I'm in the 1 second. I will trade like I'll take 30
Wow.
points and I'm happy with that. But remember, I'm probably doing like two minis, three minis. So
Yeah. Wow.
I have to move my break even right away most of the time. There's times that I'll do
Wow.
one mini and I'll do like 50, 60 mic 60 like 50, 60 points, but that's very rarely. I know how to read direction, but I'm not taking the whole trade. I take what I want and that's it. I'm happy with that. My goal right now is to make $1,000 a day. If I can make $1,000 a day, cool. If I make more than that, even better. But I'm not gonna be greedy, you know?
Yeah. No, and I mean, what I know, what I know, that's definitely looks like a good entry because that top candlestick there looks like market exhaustion. Went all the way up, then fell to the bottom, closed within that candlestick to the left.
Hmm.
That's a very and then that's no, a little more to the right. Exactly where that yellow line down is at. Is that an entry? Is that an entry? That's the entry I see there.
So
That to me is that right there. If I'm training it live, I would definitely enter right there. That part right
I would
there.
have entered after that right here. So I would have entered somewhere here.
So
If I
somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah. It was
I do, yeah.
I think I was waiting
I
for
would
the
have entered right
orb.
there.
I was waiting for the orb to happen and I never even marked it. I completely forgot about the orb because I started calling out the levels. But
Yeah.
I usually mark my zones with the orb, but I never did today.
Well,
I don't think I did.
that's that line there. That's EMA or F
Oh, this is
simple
a
moving
VWAP.
average.
This is a VWAP. So I only use out of every indicator there is out there, I only use
Mm-hmm.
VWAP. The reason why is
Oh.
because VWAP acts like a magnet. So you see how we have VWAP over here at 317? Well, basically in the
Mm-hmm.
fib, if this was the drop, aren't we making our way to
Mm-hmm.
50% and maybe 60%? So after 60, 70%, we can see basically a directional move to the upside or downside. So anything above, like, for example, anything above 330, I would look for like longs into point of control because point of control acts like a magnet.
Mm-hmm.
So
But it looks like. Mm-hmm.
if we reject 6 8 like 618, I'm basically seeing more of like supply to come to the downside to create
Mm-hmm.
equal lows support or more continuation to the downside. Another observation that we forgot and we didn't mention earlier was if you notice over here, it was basically support turning into resistance.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another way to look at it.
Every member price there, yeah, it looks like an ideal uh price point.
Hmm. What's your strategy, Jesse?
Um, I'm more of like of a naked eye trader. Um, and I use Gator systems, liquidity sweeps. I look for candlesticks like that, like big, long, wiki candlesticks. Like a big, solid, what I call like a big shadow candlestick. Where it either shows market exhaustion or a big bear, like a bear, candlestick that overshadows the a candlestick right before it. And yeah, I trade against the crowd. I don't. So I look to see um where the where the big banks, whether they're buying or selling. Um, and based off of that, with the institutional banks, based off of that is where I try to look to see whether I'm buying or selling on any pair, I guess, at this point. And this pair right here looks to me, the way it looks like it sells a lot harder than when it buys. So just looking at it, looking at some possible entry points, I would look for liquidity where the market consolidates at one little area, and then price overtakes all that price action. That probably indicates buyers and sellers entering, and then and then look for an entry point that shows me where I can sell it. Like that candlestick right there, right above. That's a big go up a little bit, up more. Right there, like 1, 2. Go two more to the left. On top. One more to the left. That candlestick right there. See that to me?
Mm-hmm.
No, the red one. That right there, it's that candlestick, it's a big bear shadow, like a big shadow candlestick that it's overtaking these last three candlesticks to the left.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that right there gives me like it's a signal for me, and especially that it's hitting that resistance line on top, right there at the bottom of the close. I could probably enter the market there.
This is how I know
I
where to
would probably
sell, guys. If
right at
I
the
could give
bottom
you
of
a
the
tip,
close.
if I could give you a tip of anything, guys, look at the 4-hour dojis, the spinning tops, the 15-minute dojis, the 30-minute dojis, and even the 1-hour dojis. Well, you have spinning tops that we never can break out of to go to the top, and you see some sort of like reversal signal. So I call this, by the way, Jesse, I call this all about the U. You know how all about the U is like this? So basically, you can see
Hmm.
the U backwards, so it's looking like this, and then
Hmm.
at the same time, you have that huge dodo wick that comes right back. It's basically a gravestone doji. That mega def tells you already that it is gonna go to the downside. And if you look at the 15-minute,
Hmm.
I bet you we go to the 15-minute, you can see that very clear. I,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, I called when I was awake at 3 a.m. in the morning. I called the top of this short. That's the short that was like
yeah.
600 points. I saw the exhaustion of how this was moving to the downside, and I told you guys aim for 145, and that shit gave us more than 145.
And look, yeah, that's something I call like a double top. I would have liked to see the price on the right clear out the price action on the left where you called it out,
Mm-hmm.
but it makes like a exactly. So that's a double top.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing I think you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Just that last for it to confirm that it's gonna sell, it has to close.
Yeah,
That
it always
has
has to close. It always has to close.
exactly. It has to close lower than all the action. Than the tip of the M right there in the middle of it. Yeah. Has to close before that for confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that like a double top. Or what you referred to, what was it that you called it?
Gravestone
What?
doji.
That.
So the gravestone doji is basically the big wick with the small body. So you can see that
Hmm.
you can see the 1 hour has that gravestone right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are look that's exactly type of signals I look for when I trade.
And not
And
only that,
I trade long, like more long term. I would like to go ahead and get into what you guys are doing.
you see this,
And
guys?
implement.
So look, we have supply here. We have supply right here. You can see how market took out this last candle right here.
Hmm.
Check this
Yeah.
out. See that? But basically, this was the top of that body, right? You can see how we never took out these people. These are the same people selling up here. So these people right here, and these people are protecting their zone here. So basically here
Hmm.
you can see how market comes in for me. This is how I tell the story in my brain. When I see
Hmm.
these people come all the way in here and take out everybody from here and give us like multiple rejections, and you can see the last candle, that's the wickiest one, takes out
Hmm.
everybody, they're protecting this zone. So then you can see that 1, 2, 3 to the downside with heavy sell pressure. And then it never comes up. It really never comes up. and it just free falls.
It just took everybody's money away.
Yeah,
The market cleared out a lot of orders there.
yeah.
The market's just taking people's money, sweeping. That's a sweeper move right there.
And then you can see the directional move. Then after all that 1 hour gap
And
basically that was filled, I bet
yeah,
that's where they basically came in and bought, guys.
that right there is a signal right there to get out of the trade.
Look,
That one right there.
you see the all about the U. That means that we're gonna start buying very soon. Now,
Market came down and then shot up and closed at the candlestick on the left to the
I
red.
I won't be surprised if we go back to like the 15 minute. I won't be surprised if we come down at open bell and come back up real quick, or if there's a huge gap to the upside. I won't be surprised.
What's the lowest price that the Nasdaq has been? Is that the all-time low there?
Oh, no, no, no. For this time period,
It's been lower.
23. It's been lower than that. We went to
Yeah.
17,000 when Trump came in. 17 or
Oh, okay.
18,000, something like that. I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it went like super low, dude.
So you look for sells here or buys usually, or
Well, right now, so if you notice right here, we're at the very, very bottom of the range. So if this is the top of the range, and basically we're almost at the bottom right here, we want to say that we want to start buying once they start giving us confirmation to buy. So you can see how inside the range we already broke out of on the daily. I'm gonna erase everything, guys. Any questions of anything I drew before I delete everything? All right, no, no questions. Actually, I could just close it up. Fuck it, I'll delete it. So basically, if we have the high right on the daily, I'm looking at body to body, guys. I'm not looking at wicks. This is the lowest we're at right now, but the actual lowest where we should have like create support would be right here. And then another one that we could create support is all the way down here where it was the initial zone where we created like that resistance and then the breakout. So we can
it
still
probably
continue.
will drop. It probably can drop down there again
It could.
and wipe out that liquidity right there.
So if you're looking at sells all the way, you're gonna be looking at like 23,300 more or less.
Hmm.
Like there's nothing good news. There's no good news happening at this very moment. No good news. So if the trend is changing from upside to the downside, don't fight against it. Look at that.
Yeah, I was gonna say what's my weekly looking like.
That weekly looks crazy. This right here, if you were trading here, you could trade anything, guys. So if you feel like you have not been trading good for the past few months, don't feel bad. We're just like in this rangy ass price that's really, really hard to tell. So imagine if we were in an uptrend and we're in a downtrend and we're like in a condition that's just sideways and a higher time frame. It's not that you suck at trading, it's just that it's really, really hard to see it. So if you could trade what we've been trading for the last few months, bro, you're gonna be an awesome trader when shit's clean.
I wish.
I've been
I
trading
wish.
since 2 years ago. So look, since 2 years ago, price has only gone up. I can't even see it because it doesn't let me go all the way back. But 2023, wait, November 2023. No, yeah, 2020, is it 2024? I don't remember. Fuck. But whatever, 2 years ago, November 2 years ago. So basically, it was just an uptrend. Now look how hard that shit turns. It's hard. It's really hard to trade that. It's not that easy, guys.
It's hard, yeah. The bigger time is pretty hard.
Mm-hmm. So let's say we create if this is the low high and it just pushes up to VWAP, we still didn't create a we like let's say we go to VWAP and we reject hard, we didn't create a low high, we're gonna just see continuation to the downside. Where's my tool?
Yeah, probably looks like it's gonna do that.
You'll see some shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I would think it's gonna do. By the looks of it.
Anybody have any questions or any input or any type of conversation you want to talk about? Could be anything, guys. There's no dumb questions, nothing silly. Isabel, are you still drunk? Isabel is
This is cool,
delirious.
man.
Oh yeah, man, this is amazing. We've been doing this for a little over a
So, what
year,
are
I
the
think.
pairs? Sorry, brother. Sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
What are the pairs that they provide for you to trade here? What pairs? What are
Um,
all the pairs?
so basically, basic things like Nasdaq, SPY, you got crude, silver, gold, platinum. You
Nice.
have a few forex pairs. They just not pairs, it's just literally the actual currency. That's it.
Let me see.
Like Japanese yen. That's just
Dollar yen.
yeah, it's
What?
just a yen. I
Oh,
don't
it's just a yen
I don't know if it moves like USD versus
against the spot.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. So you would
Ah,
have
it
to
doesn't
double
look
check
like it.
that. But look, trend is clean, bro. Downtrend, you can see the low highs, low highs, low highs, super clean.
Yeah.
Super clean.
Yeah.
It's not hard to see it. Um,
No. And gold
Euro,
and silver. And
Euro.
what about Bitcoin? Can you trade Bitcoin?
Yeah, you can trade Bitcoin too, bro.
Oh man. Hey, there's gonna be nice sweet spots coming for silver and gold.
Well, I don't know about that, bro. Let's see.
It's going down,
Gold's
but
been going down. Look, but look, if you look at gold right now,
it's,
we're making our way to the downside. So
yeah.
we're at a zone that we could catch some zoomies if it does like fly. We do see some gap over here. Let me see something.
But I feel like gold is really strong, silver that it's gonna scare a lot of people, but make it possibly down there, and then to start uptrending again. It's gonna get stronger again, man. Gold is gonna get strong, no doubt about it. It's gonna reach those highs again.
I won't be surprised if we tap that gap at 43.93.
Yeah, I don't know. Nah, for sure, I have a feeling it's gonna go down there. And go over to the silver chart. You want to take a look at that. Look how it's yeah, it's creating,
It's been in
it's
this fat ass
swiping.
range, this fat ass range.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was trading silver for I was trading silver for a long ass time, dude. Like I was trading silver like since December of like December 20 until like February. But then they limited us how many minis we could use on silver because bro, it was so easy. You could just slap three minis and you were instantly up like $4,000. I was like, yeah. Um,
Yeah, yeah, it's insane.
it felt good, bro. I made across like five accounts. I made like 100K in total between all the accounts, and I cashed out. I
Yeah.
think 30K, 30K it was. So yeah,
Oh,
it was sweet. It was a sweet thing, bro. That shit doesn't happen unless it's volatility.
yeah.
But Jimmy over here, Jimmy's one of our best traders in the Discord. He's made 60K into the year. So
Nice.
I'm proud of him, bro. He's been doing really good.
Nice, nice. I think I'm gonna create my account.
Do it. Do it. You have
Yeah.
nothing to lose, bro. There's a
Yeah.
few platforms you can use, so I recommend diversify yourself. Don't just marry one of them, because the point of it is to how you make a lot of money. And by the way, Isabel, I hope you're paying attention. Uh, the point of the prop firm world is that you use and allocate as many accounts as possible, so you can utilize to copy trade all of them at once and make as much money between like five, 10 accounts. Or
Mm-hmm.
instead of risking $1,000 to make 2,000, now you're only risking 200 to make 1,000 between multiple accounts. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it comes into play where over time when you do start getting your payouts, make sure you reinvest that money to like really go crazy. And
Can you demo trade? Just
yes,
to have a demo account?
there. So when you buy an evaluation, like in a challenge, you
Uh-huh.
basically could create a private demo account, practice account where you could trade just to like make all the mistakes in and basically just trigger any kind of trade you want, and it won't affect your real account. So that way you get some practice on the platform, the layout, get used
Mm-hmm.
to it, and basically just do your thing, bro. See which pair
Is
see which pair works best for you. Just
yeah,
because we trade Nasdaq doesn't mean you have to trade Nasdaq, right?
of course,
Hmm.
for sure. My brother, is it complicated? Is it complicated? Oh my God, complicated to enter a trade?
It's not. It's just a simple,
No.
yeah, like let's say if I have here one position, three, five, or I want to do four, or I just want to write it here, I could just put 10, and hit buy or sell. Simple. Or if I want to put a limit, I
And
just put limit.
yeah, and are there sell stops and buy stops?
Yeah. And it even tells you how much the floating, like it'll tell you what your target price amount will be and the stop loss. Isabel, I
Yeah.
hope you're paying attention because this is information you don't know about.
And what does that 10 mean there? Like, what do you like? What 10 positions?
10
Or
ten
what about
contracts.
like?
10 contracts is like
10
saying
contracts.
it's like saying 10 lots.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So in a mini, right? In a mini contract, you're basically seeing one micro is 10 micros. So 10 micros is one mini. So 10 micros is like one fraction of a mini. So one
Three.
micro is like saying a little fraction, like 10% of a whole mini.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I don't understand that many the micro. I don't understand
I
those
know
things.
that's how I felt when I first did the whole futures trading transition. But the beautiful part about it is with micros, you're gonna lose. It's like saying 0.01 a lot size on I don't know gold, and like
Which is
saying
like
one micro.
which is like 1 penny per pip,
Yeah, except you're gonna
right?
need like you bump it up to like point 10, and that's like what you'll really be making in one micro.
Because what I'm used to is entering a lot size. Let's say, for example, 0.8. That is $8 per pip,
Okay,
or whatever it is.
so you're gonna be
But
comfortable. You're gonna be comfortable with like about 7 contracts, 8 contracts
I still don't know what that means.
of micros,
Of micros. Okay,
micros.
so what does that mean?
That means every time it goes up 1 point, it'll be an approximate of like $6, $7
Uh-huh.
more or less. Um,
Okay.
how much is it? One Nasdaq tick is like what, guys? $10? One mini? One tick is $10?
I think it's 5.
Yeah, I thought YM was
No,
5. How much
no. I think it's 25, no?
is it? I don't even fucking know, dude. How much is one mini tick? Look at it. I don't even fucking know, dude.
We
I think
just
it is 25.
So one micro is 50 cents.
yeah.
What's
So then
that?
that would
What's
make
that, Miss
one.
Family?
What's good, Red?
What's going on? So
You
that makes
got it.
one mini five
Oh, it's five
dollars.
dollars. $5. Okay. So you could do one mini, dog. Jess, you could do one mini.
Hell yeah.
But I personally recommend you start with like 5 micros. Get your feet wet. Because remember, the volatility moves different. It's not like Forex. In Forex, you're like
Right.
standing there in one pip forever, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, do you trade a US 100?
Who, me? Um,
Yeah.
no, I trade the dollar Swiss, the USD, CHF, and a little bit of the USD, the pound dollar.
Yeah, I would sell my micros because Nasdaq moves a lot more weird than those pairs.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's a lot more volatile. The candlesticks are humongous in the Nasdaq. Mines are like nice, short, like I didn't like I can't say I can't describe it right
Yeah,
now.
don't worry about it, bro. Trust me, like Nasdaq will hand your ass in a plate, kid. Shit is
One second.
scary. Shit is scary.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Nasdaq is very manipulative, so
Yeah, it is. It's very wiki too. Very wiki. Isabel, you have any questions? Isabel's probably drunk. She just left her computer on, probably.
I'm not drunk.
Hey,
Y'all
Um,
stop messing with my niece, man.
hey, yo, hey,
yeah, tell them, Theo. Tell them, Theo.
El
Tell,
Theo,
him- tell him you
Theo
got
Red,
a gangster for an uncle now.
Theo Red.
Theo, right.
We
Okay.
go do this like on a regular. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Yeah,
to
bro, we
interrupt.
do this.
That's okay.
Bro, I do this. If everybody wants me to do this every day, I'll do this every day. I don't give a damn. But I'm usually here just like just talking my shit, just answering questions, uh, just basically hanging out. That's what the hangout room is for. What I really want it to be is more like an engagement thing than a class, because I don't want to sit here like if I'm just teaching. I want to have conversation, dialogue. Give me your ideas, you know, put me against the wall, challenge me to say, but what if it does this and that, like I don't know. It doesn't have to be so formal. Um, But yeah, I do one-on-ones as well. I charge people $50 an hour, but I haven't done those in a minute because I'm too busy, bro. I'm enjoying life. I've been going out a lot fishing. I mean, you've seen me post on WhatsApp that I'm just fishing and shit like that. I'm just enjoying life, bro. I like to be outside of these charts as much as I could and just basically live my life. Um, but over time, I've noticed that these kind of calls help us all see the same thing. And when I'm making the call of a short or a long, it helps people understand, oh, okay, I see why he's doing that. Or, oh, I understand his strategy so I could replicate it and do it on my own. You don't always have to you don't always have to come into trading holding somebody's hand. You could do trading on your own, take your own risk. Red is one example. He did orb today and he was happy with it, right, Red?
Yes, sir. And then it's crazy because like I did I think 12 or 1300 on my personal account. My wife did her little 150 on the combine, but
Mm-hmm.
I did about 13,000 on my practice account. But I had once you get done because I just joined. I don't want to jump in front of nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple of questions about
Hit us, Red.
reversal.
Hit us because nobody's answering me questions today.
You you like I saw short buys. Jimbo was short buys. You was long buys, but you still got paid off of the short. How I get paid when I'm wrong? Like if my stop loss get hit, I get hit at the break even. I automatically switch my perspective. I watched a whole video of a while ago. Don't be stuck on like one direction in your own head. And I know that you're good. You're very good at uh what I just said. What I called it the other day, switching up. Like you might be one way, but you definitely gonna see it. It's like if you long buys, for example, like earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and you're quick to see it's going against you. It's like is there a certain candlestick pattern that I'm supposed to be looking for to see that other than it hitting my stop loss?
All right, let's look at that. So we could see something else in a different market, right? So, I always talk about support and resistance being like my bread and butter, right? Everything always has an uptrend and everything always has a ceiling, right? Once you see a ceiling, you need to understand that there's multiple ways to understand a ceiling. The first one is always going to give you that strong rejection and it always comes back up to do a what? Confirmation that it is resistance, right? So that turns into supply. So basically, when you're looking at a ceiling, you don't predict to say, oh, it's going to go higher and it's going to give me a possibility to enter. No, you just already know this is a zone of selling because of the fact that we entered twice, three times, and now you're just looking for a pattern to give you the confirmation to short. Why? Because market's going to look perfect in theory, right? But when you're looking at the actual market, it's never going to look pretty. I'll give you an example. So you can observe two things. We came from a breakout, we came to retest, we came up into resistance, right? And now what do we have here? Two candle behaviors that were strong rejections, right? So basically market
Right.
still came to the downside. It respected the zone to be like a supply, basically. But we retested it to confirm what pushed to the upside. So once they came and disrespected the sellers, all they did was basically come up slowly, give us rejections, right? And then what do you have? If this was the resistance that made the uptrend move, we basically can see how right here we're just in an area of a range, but like if this is internal liquidity, let's call it internal liquidity, right? Because it never goes above this. This does come up and it takes out these stop losses, right? But what is this right here? The supply zone, right? If this is supply right here, that you can observe they actually wicked into and then came back down, don't you already have the direction there? I know I said a lot and it doesn't probably make sense, but look at it this way.
Uh,
If this was the initial breakout zone, but then it comes back to test a key level for support, resistance, right? And we break, we find the resistance level. Because again, just because it looks like it's selling doesn't mean that it's gonna start selling, right? How do you know it actually becomes a selling zone? Well,
The retest.
the moment that we actually show a push to the downside, where right there, you can see right here after this push to the downside, you can see how market's just staying here, but it comes right back in, takes out all the stop losses. You can see the supply zone right here, and basically we're gonna start seeing what the trend to the downside. So now, if this resistance was valid, and we're like basically creating resistance confirmed inside that resistance zone, what's next? More selling pressure to the downside. We never made a new high. So
Right.
you need to absorb, like for me to see sells, I'm looking at this specifically. If you want me to be a little bit more specific, I'm looking at things like this. If this was a big push candle down, I'm looking for that. Where's the next one? A big push down, right? Where's the next one? A big push down. Where's the next one? Big push down. And then suddenly at the bottom, what do you have? You have strong buys, right? But they come down, hunt the
Hmm.
stop loss. They do a stop loss hunt or whatever, and then you can see the 4 bar reversal. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. Strong push to the upside. What do you have here? Big W and a retest, right? You have one retest, and then what do you have here? They never made a new high, but we did come into a supply zone.
See, I think that retest right there, that retest area when it came back above those one, two, almost three structures, that's what throws me off.
So
You know, it gave you a higher high than the last two structures on that last on the right top hand side of the W.
I want you to always pay attention to this. If we disrespected the level that was support supposedly, right? If we disrespected it already creating lows, you're always
Hmm.
gonna look at the uptrend as manipulation to do a what? Retracement. To where?
To
60 or
the
70% major retracement.
Yeah, I gotta start using my fib again.
Once you see a major retracement zone, you're just okay, like this is a supply zone. Oops, where is it at? Let me see something here. What's going on with this crap? If this is a supply zone, right? If this right here specifically is the supply, and it's inside that range of a 70 to 60% major pullback, I'm looking for rejections from there. How do I know the rejection? Well, basically, this right here confirms this was the support. You don't need a sniper entry to get in the short. But once you see the pattern that we're no longer making new highs, you're just looking at lower highs, and then another lower high, and more lower highs, more lower highs, more lower highs, more lower highs. Does that make sense? Now
Yeah,
the reversals, right? When I'm looking at reversals, red, I'm looking for specific things. So for example, if I were to see this right here in real time, I would have taken that long right here to play with the devil, just to like gamble it, because it's a probability that we're what? Turning resistance into what? Support. If that's resistance right here,
Cogiste plato desechable. En vez
those
de
are
coger plato
footprints of the
desechable.
market turning like a flip side. If we're trying to build support to push up, I wanna take my bet that I can try to get a long and break even as soon as I can. We don't know
right.
what's gonna happen. Our predictions are never gonna be 100% sure. But the probability of it being a 60 to 40, I'd rather take that kind of trade than me take a random ass long anywhere. You get it? And then on top of that, if I go to the 30-minute, let's look at that picture a little bit more. And the reason why I'm using Bitcoin for an example is because with Bitcoin I've understood that Bitcoin respects its levels very clean. So it's an easier one to see that you can see the trend a little more clear. So look, another observation that I always make is I'm looking for something specific. So if the market's coming to the downside, right? They're pushing up, downside, up. You see the equal low right there, more clear. You can see the break and retest, continuation to the top. Now you see multiple rejections, right? 1, 2, 3. If you see multiple rejections, that should be telling you something that you're not taking that long. It should keep you off that kind of trade. Hands off the mouse, hands off everything. Why? Because you want to see a breakdown and then a retest to continue to the downside.
What chart do you feel shows the better reversal pattern? The 5, the 30, the 15.
It's all subjective, bro, because I see a lot of shorts on the higher time frame more clear than the lower time frame. The higher time frame is always going to give you a better picture of everything. So look, this is all noise, right? But doesn't this, when you start looking at it from a perspective that it is like a lot of resistance, you're going to see that we're only going in a downtrend. We're only going in a downtrend. Now, if we came basically breaking this retest, we never came back to retest it at all. We didn't. If this was the low, supposedly, we never retested it. But if you go to the lower time frame, in some way, shape, or form, you can see how this was support and this was resistance. Do you see it? If this was support and this is resistance not going up anymore after buyers try to come in and save it, they couldn't. It's just going down. It's going down. So it's subjective to time frames. Like I can't sit here and tell you, oh, which one's the better one. It's your job and it's your duty to look through and filter through different time frames to tell yourself, okay, which one helps me understand the trend, or which one helps me understand the direction, or which one helps me see where's going to be the best area to hit a short. Sometimes I'm telling you guys where to short by looking at the 1 second. A
You
lot of
gotta backtrack your system.
100%. When
That's
I'm
all.
looking at
Yeah.
when I'm looking at the 1 second chart, guys, I'm looking for this specific. You see this little gap right here? That little gap right there, this little gap, I'm like, okay, I can see how we could tap that and reverse. I'm literally dead ass telling you. When you guys see me very specific with a zone, it's because I'm looking at the 1 second chart. When I look at the higher time frame, I'm giving you a zone. I'm always telling you guys, between like 520, 545, I can see us going back down. I won't be able to tell you where, but when it's more specific, it's like I'm giving you a number specific for the reasons that I can see the gap in the 1 second. Think
And this
about it.
market only opens until 5, right? From 8 to 5 strictly, or 24/7.
6 p.m. 6 p.m. and it closes at 4 p.m. New York time.
Wait, 6 a.m. and then 4 p.m.
6 p.m. and 4 p.m. So it's
Does it
basically
open on?
it's closed
Does it
from
open on
4.
Sunday?
It's closed from 4 to 6 p.m.
Oh,
and it closes on
oh.
weekends.
Because the forex market opens on Sunday at 5 p.m. and then closes on Friday 5 p.m. But it's running live, through markets, through the Asian, through the London, through all that.
Right, right. This
Is
one's
that it?
this one's actively running at the moment 6 p.m. hits.
Mm,
hmm
okay.
Red. So any questions on the reversals, right? So like the basic classic patterns, right? So you have
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. So 30-minute. Look, one way that I can see this is we have a shoulder, head, shoulder. They come down, take out all the stop losses, and then they basically retest and continue to the upside. That's what I see between all that noise. When I see three big like bar candles, when I see bar candles like this, I'm looking for the biggest wick at the bottom, right? When you see the biggest wick at the bottom, that tells you they're getting ready to do what? A reversal.
Reversal. Yeah.
Same thing you see in the top. When you see a big wick at the top, you see a big wick at the top, and the next one respects it, and it continues to the downside, you already have your direction. That's your confirmation candle. The next thing that comes up is just to confirm the supply zone, and it goes. Because they need to generate liquidity before they go. They always need to generate liquidity. So anytime you're looking for direction, let's go back to MNQ. You can see that big dildo wick at the bottom. And then what it do? It just runs. When I was seeing that happen after I logged into the chart, after I said I'm done with the day, and I locked myself out after my win, I was like, damn, that's the move we were all waiting for today. That was the move we were all waiting for today. After all that free fall, that was the move we were waiting for. So Look, when you look at it, the lower time frame, the 5 minute, big wick, right? Never creates a smaller like pattern to the downside. I always tell you guys that this is a reversal pattern. When you guys see this right here, this specifically is a 4 bar reversal. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is manipulation, and then you have your direction. And if you look at the lower time frame, you can see the break and retest. So look, equal lows, right? Equal lows, resistance, retest, and push to the upside. And if you look at the lower time frame, doesn't that already look like a W? And then if you look at the lower time frame, look, you have strong buying pressure, the little M, right? And then it goes to the upside. And if you look at the 30-second, you can see it as well. Push, continuation. I don't know. For me, it's easier to see it in the lower time frame. Why? Because I'm looking for this specifically. I'm looking for the W, retest, the little castle that I talk about, and what do you have here? So W castle turns into M, continuation to the top. That's the formula I've always told you guys that I've noticed since I was like a beginner trader. It's not like an official thing or anything like that. It's just how my eye sees the pattern or the reversal. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
W, castle, M.
Man, I did one of Jimbo numbers and just let that thing run. I was shocked by the end of the day, man. I was like, God damn. And it's crazy because when I looked at it, that's when you had said something about being 20,000 a month. I'm like, shit,
I know I'm a
man,
I know I'm a $20,000 a month trader. I can tell you that wholeheartedly that I know I can make 20,000. I know I can make 20,000.
easy.
The problem with me is that I'm not executing my trades because I'm looking for something specific. But every morning I'm giving you direction exactly how it needs to be. Like I read price fairly well, like really, really well. I'm just not executing my trade.
Mm-hmm.
So once I work tweaking, adapting to not look for the specific thing I'm looking for, I'm gonna take a lot more trades than what I'm taking. And the only way I'm gonna do that is if I lower my size. If I do 5 micros
Yeah.
and start adding to my position heavily after, I can probably take a lot more trades. Because look, my win rate at this very moment is high. I don't take a lot of trades, 96%. And that's between since the account opened to now, 96% with a 6 profit factor. That's huge. That means I'm very like meticulous about my trades. I don't take just any random shit. I'm looking for something specific. Because again, because I'm only doing 20, 30 points, 50 points, you know? I'm not looking for those big ass swings.
Well, shit. If depending on the number of contracts, you don't need that many.
Exactly.
That
Because
that that goddamn Jimbo, all he needs is 3 points.
nah,
20
Jimbo
contracts.
Jimbo actually rides that shit. Jimbo is risky as fuck. He likes riding that, 80 points, 90 points type shit. I'm the riskier one that likes to get my in and out. Like I'll trade against the trend and I'll take my 20 points, 30 points. Jimbo trades
Yeah.
more of like that. He wants the whole shit.
With 20 accounts he's holding.
How do you think Jimmy made 60K so far this year?
Shit.
You only make 60K from having multiple accounts. You don't make that from one account.
For sure.
What's your next question?
What are you using the hour? No, are you using the hour or the 4 hour to do
I use all of them.
your your zones, your demand and supply zone?
I mean, I could run it through how I do like if I do a technical analysis, I could run it down for you. It's the same thing for everything. So, but I don't normally do that anymore, to be honest with you. I don't do like a whole technical analysis rundown. It's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if I'm seeing that this was the highest point, and we already ate these people out, and we see resistance over here, I'm marking the bodies. So if this is the area of interest of sells, that's all I care about for the 4 hour. And the lower time frame, I'm looking for where's the place that had the most buys. So basically, it would have been somewhere like around here as an area of interest or buys. One, two, three, four, five, and you can see where we were in a range that was basically going up or down.
That's a
We already
beautiful range.
we already broke out of it. We already broke out of it. So if we already broke from the range, retested it multiple times, and rejected, and for some reason we got buys,
Yeah.
well, we have buyers here because of this right here.
So that's a Nasdaq.
That's Nasdaq, yeah.
So that's just a beautiful range right there, man.
Give me 1 second. Somebody's asking me a question. My bad, my bad, guys. Hello. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. My brother was
Those
asking me
those
if I wanted to
those
be
are
on.
sell limits on the top right there. All of them. Boom, boom, boom. Every single time it touch the top, market sell.
That's
I
called
mean
an
market limit.
that's called an
Sell
area.
limit. Sell limit.
That's called an area of interest, guys. Area of interest. It's so clean, so clean. And look, you can see how every time we were there, even before on the daily, you had single sells all the single time. All you needed to do is wait for the 15 minute. Once the 15 minute or the 5 minute gave you the direction, you just had to enter. So how do I go from my 4 hour to the 30 minute to the 1 hour, right? Simple. So let's say this is the
How
four
many
hour
pips from the top there to the bottom? How many pips is that ranging?
a
How
lot,
many
Poppy.
pips?
A lot, Poppy. That was
Right, how
basically
much?
677 points. That's basically 2,765 ticks.
Oh my god.
That's
That's money
huge.
right
That's
that's money right there, bro.
huge. Bro, that's huge. Like in a regular
Jesus.
day,
And it ranges
Nasdaq
like that?
in a regular day, Nasdaq should give you like 150 points, 200 points. So 600 is like you're in steroids, man. You know?
Damn.
Yeah.
I've done the highest I've done is like about 120 pip trade. That's my top max on the
The
Swissy.
the most I've had a trade open for was like 5 hours, and it was a total of what was it, like 300 and something points. This is when
That's
I
a
was a new.
lot.
This is when I was a new trader though. I was like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just hoping it would like run, run, run. And it was just like one micro. It wasn't a lot. It was one micro, but that was probably one of my best trades that I've ever taken. So going into the 1 hour, if you go to the 1 hour, I'm looking for the supply, right? So looking at this from here, if this was a sell zone, and you can see we tapped it, I already know that this is a supply zone, right? I can see the zone though, like the actual zone. I would look at it like this right here. So you can see how when we tap the zone, we reject off of it, right? It's like what I always tell you guys. Just because we tap the zone doesn't mean you start selling. You need to wait for the reversal to happen. Rigo, how do you know that's the zone? It's not that I know. It's just because when I look at the 15 minute, I can see that that's the area that gave us that push to the downside, the confirmation of rejection, and basically inside the zone, it was just accumulating and then it dropped, it broke out, and then it retested. So that's the zone. You get me? So whenever we do come to the zone, right, and we do push to the upside, how do you know they're going for the actual wick? Well, when they're pushing to the upside, you can see that everything that is resistance turns into support. It's that simple. And it's usually a really slow crawl up to the upside. It's not strong.
Nasdaq sells faster than what it buys.
Mm-hmm. Because of the time period that we're living, all the uncertainty. But when it buys, right now we're like in a correctional move to the downside. But when it buys hard, bro.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Look at this. It was just correction after correction after correction. Boom. Correction, correction, boom.
So how do you risk manage this pair since it's so volatile?
What is risk management?
Like
I'm just fucking with you,
let's
dog.
Stop
say
loss.
like if you have $1,000 account or whatever amount of money they give you, like how do you
Justin, I'm
many,
pulling your ears,
you
bro.
know, how like
I'm
your
pulling your ears.
ticks and whatever.
I'm pulling your
Like, how
ears,
do
bro.
you?
It's simple. I full port my account. At the beginning of the eval, I'm not looking to trade this eval for 5, 10 days. I want to pass this account in 2, 3 days max. So I'm looking for 20 specific points with 5 minis, and I want to pass this account as fast as possible. I don't care if I need to blow 200, 300 bucks. One of those accounts will get me will get me a funded account, and I'll get enough money back risking properly about $200, $300 per trade. Um, so basically, I look for the best entry possible where I'm not like in a liquidity zone where they're just generating liquidity and then it moves. I wait
Yeah.
for breakouts. I wait for breakouts. I wait for the break and retest.
All right.
So I like the trades. I like the trades that just move away. I don't like the trades that just stay there. Being inside of the
Of course.
zone makes me antsy, especially that I'm usually over leveraged. Um, so that's basically what I'm doing.
Right.
Right. That's okay. So there you go. You over leverage,
I over leverage.
which
I don't give a fuck.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I do too.
So when y'all do,
It's not the ideal thing to do, but hey, we're all
It's the
trying to
only
get
way.
rich.
It's the only way you're gonna get rich, bro. Take the risk.
Of course.
when y'all do it like that, are y'all going with the standard or the no activation fee?
So I do it with both of them. I don't care. Like
Hmm.
depending what the market conditions are, I would go with the no activation or the activation.
Rigo
Hmm.
is he's a naked eye trader. He doesn't care. He doesn't care how much risk he does. When you know price, it don't matter. It doesn't matter where your entries. I mean, where your stop loss is at. When you know the market's gonna go down, it's gonna go down. Look, can you go back to that range? I want to see something, please. Okay, sure. At the very, let's say, can zoom out a little bit more. Zoom out. Okay, that's that area there, I guess. Okay, can you do the 1 hour in that area zone right there? Uh huh.
Hmm.
Can now the top on the resistance there, yeah, but with the blue line. Let's look focus on the blue line. Let's say I enter the market right there, exactly where the blue line is at. At the keep going to the right where it touches the the second time after that. You going, go. It goes down, goes up, down, up, down, up. That's the first touch to the resistance. No, all the way to the right. More, right. One more right there. How many pips is that from the line to the top?
Oh, that's a lot, Papa.
Uh, From that line to the top of that wick on the green one.
This right here, right?
No, go to the top. From right there. From there to the line. From the right, the blue line, the one you got right there. How much
Oh,
is that?
60 points. That's a lot. 60 points is a lot.
What do you mean? Why is it a lot?
These forex people, forex people get confused when we say that's a lot. That's a fucking lot, yo. That's like 263. That's 263 ticks. And
That's
pips.
it.
And pips, you're translating that into like points,
That's
basically.
100 mini. I mean, that's 100 micros, bro. If you're going five minis,
65. Look, with
you talking about
65.
100, 6,000,
That to
6,000
me,
ounces.
that to me is 26 pips or 263 pips.
Yeah, to me that's 65 points. That's a fucking lot. That's a good trade. That's all you need, in my opinion.
Right, but there I would. So in this case, if you zoom out now, you don't need to take out that zoom out a little. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm zoomed out. I'm zoomed in.
Hmm.
So if I enter the market, you see the market. If I set a sell limit
Hmm.
right where the line is at,
Hmm.
my stop loss would be at least. Well, I wouldn't have a stop loss.
Hmm. But your mental stop loss will be above the wick.
My mental stop loss would be right, exactly right there.
Correct. That's what I tell.
Then
That's what I tell everybody.
yes, and then so I entered right where that all that price there. Well, that's the first touch.
Right.
So maybe if it was the market was to touch there again, maybe like on the second touch right there, yeah, I set a sell limit there. That's
Hmm.
easy money right there.
Oh, no, it's
That's
100%
easy money
easy money.
because you see that's a resistance point That market remembers and it touches it like 4 times.
Yeah,
You can enter the market there like 4 or 5 times on a sell
100%.
limit. Boom, 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 and then all the way back down to the bottom,
Look at look
or at least two.
look how they like the way I identify those strong reversals is you have the big dodo wick. You see the big dodo there? Look, same shit right here.
That's it. Look at that.
That's all it is, guys. Once you see that with a strong like engulfing candle, right? You already know that you're in money. That's the way I identify those strong reversals. Me
But
personally.
all, and the way you know that, the way you come to learn that stuff is back testing the system. For
Correct.
anybody who was trying to figure out like how we know this,
And
how
then
we seen,
and
because
the
you got to back
rest
test a lot.
and the rest of it is
Yeah.
like every wick goes inside what? The next body. Any body that engulfed, it always goes, the wick always retests that. Same thing here, look.
Well,
Watch. This one goes here. This one goes here. You see that big? It goes literally right there. See that? And then these right here just basically just stays underneath. So that gray
also
stuff.
was well. Beautiful entry points right there.
Yeah. Look, clean double top.
Market, yeah.
Double top right here.
Don't top there, yeah.
And then it's a little ugly, but it's like a triple. It's like a triple top. A little ugly here.
Yeah.
It's triple top as well.
Hey
Those
Rigo, my brother, I'm gonna let you go, man. Thank you for this
You're good, bro.
class.
Hey, I'm glad that you're coming in, and I'm glad that you finally joined us. And bro, you're welcome to hang in and just talk and do your thing, bro. I'm looking forward to seeing you come into the prop firm world so you can actually start trading next to me with Nasdaq. Let's get crazy with it, man.
I'm I'm looking forward to it, man. And guys, I've been trading for 8 years, 2 years hardcore learning, knowing what I know on the forex.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody has questions, here to
Charts are
help you.
charts are charts. You know what you can
Charts,
know
charts,
forex, you
charts.
can know
Yeah, but I'm
futures.
trying to say I can see. I'm happy. I know forex because I can see that, and I can see what you see.
Good. Yeah, me and you trade very
What's
similar. We talked about that once.
Yeah.
what's your
Awesome.
favorite currency pair on the forex?
On the dollar chef, the USD CHF. It's slow. I don't know. It's very slow. You gotta have a lot of patience with it, but it's a nice. It's a nice. It's a nice moving pair. It's a safe haven pair. It's the fourth largest traded pair in forex. It's yeah. Look into it. It looks good. It's moving crazy right now, but it's a nice pair. To start off with, I recommend everybody to start with that one.
I remember my days on forex, man. I'll never go back to forex. Fuck that.
For real, yeah, probably won't either. And just seeing that this crazy action here.
Hell yeah.
Why you don't like it, Ringo?
I don't know. It just takes forever to get to the move, and there's a lot of manipulation. And at the same time, the forex prop firms are more expensive than the futures side. So I don't know. It's a give and
Mm.
take. It's a give and take away from it. Like in prop firms of forex, they give you more like drawdown and daily loss limits. Um, but it's more expensive. It's like you're paying three, four evals versus one.
Yeah, the commissions are pretty crazy. But I trade with FX Glory, and they don't charge commission or
Hmm.
not, or fees or nothing like that.
But I
I
believe Jesse is a live trader. He doesn't do prop firms.
who?
You do live trading with your own capital, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like me. I'm not a
Which
live.
platform do you use?
FX Glory,
Oh, FX Glory.
Glory. Yeah. They're really good. They're really good, honestly.
How you pronounce your name again, bro?
Jesse, Jesse.
Oh, Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice meeting you, bro.
This is Uncle
Pleasure.
Red, Theo Red. You can just say
Red.
Theo Red.
Oh, for sure. All right, for sure. Red. Yeah, man. Pleasure, guys. Man, I'm happy, man. This is pretty freaking cool, Regal. What you got going on here is it's amazing, man.
It's been a good journey,
Pretty.
man. I've had a lot of good people here, and I've met a lot of people that have taught me a lot. So I'm proud to be here with them.
Wow. Thank you for having me, man.
Always, brother. Dale, take care, man.
Alex. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Dale. All right, guys. Any last questions before we call it a night?
Yeah.
Nah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Somebody else. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, ask your question.
Go ahead, pretty.
No,
Hit
I
us.
want to ask him. I want to holler at you on the one-on-one right quick when you get done.
All right. Pretty, go ahead.
Yo, I really don't be trading these pairs, so sometimes I don't know. I don't be asking questions.
Hey,
I really just trade crypto. I mean, sometimes I'll trade like the futures market, but
it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
yeah.
Remember, charts are charts. The thing with crypto is that you have to understand it takes longer to see the crypto move. It's more of a swing than anything. Me, I'm basically scalping. If you notice all my trades, the same thing I do on the short term, like on the short term, like lower time frame, is the same thing that I do in the long time frame. Like I could give you a TA on Bitcoin and I'll be precise with it. Same thing with Ethereum
Right.
because it's the
That's
same thing.
I kind of like suck with the time frame alignment. Like, I don't know.
Let's look at it. What is it that you're struggling with?
Basically, like, because I trade the 1 minute, so I guess I'm basically struggling with lining my higher
Zoom out.
time frame up with my lower time frame as far as like entries and take profits and stuff like that,
You gotta zoom out.
if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So one of the ways that I'll break it down for you right now. Let's see here. Where is it at? By the way, I was at work the other day on a weekend with the chef, and he was like, "Rigo, is it gonna go long or short?" And I'm like, "It's gonna go short." And I told him to short somewhere around here, and it went up a little higher. But look, you can see how Rigo's short is right here, and it went all the way down. That's crazy. I told him it was gonna go somewhere around here. I even marked it. Look at that. That's crazy. That's crazy. At 11:32 a.m., I told him. So somewhere around here, I told him to short. That's wild. That's crazy. He was doing that Cowshe app. You know the Cowshe app?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that app. I deleted that shit.
This motherfucker made 1,700 with my short. I was like, damn, that's awesome. Um, so yeah, like basically, let me erase everything so you can see. That's crazy how I predicted everything so to the T. All right, so you notice how we have this long wick candle right here, and then all these little ones, and basically you see the reversal, the W, one, two, retest, continuation to the top, retest, continuation to the top. We hit the resistance. You see that resistance? It's a no wick candle. Pay attention to those no wick candles. Those no wick candles usually act like an attraction of magnet. And the reason why is because those no wick candles either had a strong impulsive move away or to a direction. And then aside from that, you can see how the last candle created like this wicky move up and took all the stop losses. And what did they respect? They respected this right here, the supply. So you see how we tap supply and we push to the downside, and then the next move was just a straight flush. Same thing. So let me how do I erase all these little candles? There you go. All right, so we have supply here, right? And we have support down here. And then you can see that we had a strong push to the upside right here. So we could call this demand, right? And we could call this what? Support. Why is it called support? Because we have more data, right? More bars that actually touched in the zone. So basically, this is creating a buy zone. You see this little no wick candle right here? I'm sorry, this neutral candle right here. Show you. You see that little green wick candle right here? The spinning top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The moment we tapped after that push to the upside of resistance, we come back into it, and then what do we have? Equal lows. These equal lows created the break retest continuation to the top. So if this is a no wick candle right here, could we potentially be making our way here to then come up here as retests and retests? I don't know. I can't guarantee that. But if push comes to shove, where the market takes out this small candle right here, touching the gap and then goes up, I can see us being targeting this and this. It's just basically like a reversal. Now, if I'm looking at like if I'm zooming out, right? Let's look at the 4 hour. I'm gonna erase everything. If I look at the 4 hour, I can see that we made two touches here, right? We have another touch here. And then on top of that, on resistance, we can see this was the support, resistance, boom. So we already have support and resistance, right? On the higher time frame. If I go to the 1 hour, I'm in the middle of that range. Why? Because if I put a fib here, let's say this was my swing low to the high. Oh wait, let me put it the other way, my bad. Oops. So if this is the bottom and we're making our way up, this is 80% retracement, right? And it already went to the 100. So basically we're making our way down now, right? In some way, shape, or form, whenever market sees some kind of reversal like what I'm seeing here, I want to look at a better picture. You can see the reversal, you know? So where's the supply zone? Supply zone will be right here where we broke out of. So if for whatever reason we come and tap this zone and we never make a new high, I can already see, okay, we're going back in a what? A downtrend. Because this was a higher high, and now we come into a zone of supply. I would like to see sales. Do you see that? And now if this is the bottom of this little area, I would like for me to see if this was resistance turning into support. I would like to make sure that we go back up into this area or break this area, retest, continue to the top. I hope I hope that in some way, shape, or form is clicking. So two things.
No, that makes sense.
So we come from the resistance, retest, break, come up, break, come up. We're in the middle. Like we haven't really made a strong push, right? But if we come over here and come up, I would like to see this get respected for supply, right? As generated liquidity. If this was going to be internal liquidity to go to a supply zone and sell, because we are like in a trend where basically market's going up just to retrace, and they already did the full retracement, right? If this is gonna act like a new resistance to continue to the what? Where's the next zone? Over here. So basically, if we made a new like lower high, I would like to see this as generated liquidity to keep pushing to the downside. And by the way, when you look at the daily, that's strong selling.
So, can I ask a question? Is that kind of like accumulation, expansion, and then distribution, or whatever you call it?
You see, that's the thing. I don't know what that is. I don't
Is
know.
she talking uh accumulation,
No, I know what she means. The AMD model,
manipulation, and
AMD model.
distribution?
Yeah, I know what she means.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Thank
I've
you.
heard about it. I know what that is. I've studied it, but I don't know how to tell you what's an accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I like I wouldn't know because
Uh,
I'm just looking at a support and resistance.
Let me see the chart. I can show it to you on the chart.
The only reason why I asked is because sometimes, like, I don't know if it's like the way it's double topping right there is kind of throwing me off.
Look at this support right here, right? Push, support, support. We sold resistance right here, right? If this is resistance, are you gonna say that this is gonna come up to keep going up, or is it gonna come up to keep going down?
down.
Oh, so it goes up to keep going down,
Yes, because we
That
want to confirm like this is no longer support. Now it's gonna be a supply zone.
right?
that's it right there. That's a perfect example right there. Um, Scroll the chart right. Make the candles a little fatter.
This right here.
Uh, right there, right there. Come down to your right, right there. When we in a, we call it a what we call it when it going sideways, like consolidation
Accumulation.
or arrangement.
Consolidation,
Consolidation.
Okay,
accumulation.
that's your accumulation. that whole little area all the way over, all the way over, all the way, and then right there, that green candle that goes up and give you that last new high. That's the manipulation because it's manipulating all them highs to the left, and
Huh.
then it just drops, distributes to the downside. So that's what it looks like.
So accumulation, manipulation, distribution.
Yes.
Now
Right.
absorb what I always told you guys. Remember how I told you earlier that the big dodo candle wick with a strong body candle down is a reversal signal? Don't you
Yeah.
already have your sideways? So you have a drop, base drop. You see it?
Yep.
So now you have candle confirmation of a wick out. Like for example, wick out meaning it stopped out everybody, right? And then you have the strong reversal period, and then buyer's absorption, and then you basically had a gap that basically bought that, but then we had sideways movement to drop. Once the drop is happening, by the way, this is a daily candle. So each daily is a daily, right? So each candle is a daily. So if you're only seeing downward movement, pressure, and then I don't know, like this is one of the things that I would say, like this is a strong, like this is a range, right? And the accumulating of this range, we're moving to the upside in some way, shape, or form. We're defending the bottom as support. It's always support resistance. Don't overcomplicate it. But if this was a lower time frame where let's say everything is a 1 minute or 5 minute candle, everything, it would look like what he's saying: accumulation, manipulation, distribution.
Yeah, because the manipulation, everybody, when you see that big green candle break the range, everybody believe we're going up.
We're going up
So it's a
where? Oh, here.
manipulated move.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And then it
Everything's gonna
just
go here,
drops.
and it just dies really hard. It dies, and when it dies, guess what? Everybody's trying to buy. Everybody's trying to buy. Everybody's trying to buy. Everybody's trying to buy. And where do end up? Where do people get exhausted from buying? The area that was the original area that people started buying, and then you can see how they manipulate it up one more time and continue to the downside. What do
Yeah.
you have here? Sell pressure, sell pressure. There's never a new high, never a new high, and it just continues. Like if you could start seeing that on the higher time frame, you're gonna make a lot of money. So going back to this one right here, right? If we're in the daily candle, we already made some basing on a neutral candle. Isn't this supposedly like a neutral candle that I talk about to be a buy zone? We're in a buy zone right here. This is a valid buy zone. It's not bad. But if we tap this gap right here, if this is a gap, I would like to see the gap get touched as a retest to continue to the downside. As a matter of fact, take a screenshot of this. So when we look at it like by Sunday, we could be like, damn, Rigo was right. You know?
Oh, one sec. Let me get you this shit. There we go. And that you say that's a daily chart
That's
there?
that's a daily. That's a daily chart.
Okay.
Let me put this on crypto so we could see that. So let's all right. So we're in the daily now. So we know we're in a buy zone in some way, shape, or form, right? Let's look at the 4 hour. We have equal lows trying to get established, right? Um, we do have a sell pressure here because you can see this indecisiveness right here. It already got tested on the 4 hour. You see that? So we have a spinning top supply. We tapped the supply zone, right? And we've rejected, and now we're going up one more time, but we're rejecting one more time from a supply zone. So it's supply zone after supply zone until what? Until it breaks, retest, and continues to the upside to do what? A retest here. But if this is telling you selling pressure, right? Especially being a 4 hour gravestone doji, unless this flips really strong to the upside, you already know this is sells. Why? Because of the gravestone right here. Until it closes and gives us the mega dove candle, then we already know that sells. It needs to close. It needs to close. Let's take a picture of that. So the 4 hour. I'm gonna put it down. 4 hour. All right, and let's look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour, you can see 4 bar reversal, right? We're coming back to do what? A retest of that top. This right here. A retest of that. Any rejections from this, then you already know we're going down, right? Because look, we have one, two, three. We tap the supply zone. Isn't this a sign of a reversal? And not only that, you have a double top, neckline retest, continuation to the bottom. And now we're at that same level again. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a picture of the 1 hour. I'm gonna send it to you guys again. So I'm gonna break it down so by the time Sunday comes, we can see that. Because these swings, you won't be able to see it until like Sunday. 1 hour time frame. And let's look at the 30 minute. Doesn't that already look like a double top? Pretty.
Yeah.
Now, if we were to get any move to the downside, right? Isn't there a gap at the bottom right here? So basically, in some way, shape, or form, if we do get a pump up and we reject one more time from this supply zone, wouldn't it look something like this? See the no wick candle right here?
Right. Because that's like a liquidity sweep or whatever.
Well, I don't know what is it called, honestly. I just see and I react. I hate that I tell you
Yeah.
guys that. I hate that I tell you guys that because I don't have a very formal education on what to call what. I just know what I see and I see and I like it. But it has to do with candle behavior more than anything. So let's put this as the 30 minute, right? Let's look at the 30-minute time frame. Uh, sweep maybe for continuation down.
No, no, just you don't have to write a sweep just because I said it. Just write whatever you understand so that way I understand.
Cool. Well, I'm looking at it like an equal low, right? It could turn into an equal low and pushing all the stop loss hunt. So I'm gonna put here stop loss hunt manipulation for buyers to trap. And then let's look at the 15-minute. On the 15-minute, we have a 4 bar reversal. We have more selling pressure. You can see the no wick candle here gets sold. Basically wick, boom, 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 push to the downside. Are we gonna go up to come down? I don't know. This can really turn into one of these. Look, it could turn into one of these. What is this called? Like a little triangle, where it will give us the direction once it moves. So basically, this can be one of these until something happens. See that?
Yeah, I see that. Like accumulation until it breaks.
Mm-hmm. It could be one of those. So your 15-minute candle needs to be clean for you to know the direction. Right now, we're just like in an accumulation zone. Until it breaks the zone up or down, then you know where to go. But again, if we are at a low high and we made it low high here, I would like to see a wick out and then more down pressure. I don't know. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of this so you can see that later on. And I won't change nothing on this so you don't. You know what happens to us as traders that we see the market and we're like, oh my God, it's not doing nothing, but I want to take it so it could go up here. When in reality, we don't know what really gonna do until the confirmation candle's there. Usually, the confirmation candle is huge. It breaks out with a huge momentum and a retest. Then you know to take your trade. But
Right.
when you see all these little like zigzagging up and down in a tight range, it's not the trade you want to take. It's better to be late to the move with confirmation than to be early into the move just because you think it's gonna go down or up. Does that answer your question on how to break it down into time frames?
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Any last questions on that?
No, I don't have no more questions.
Cool. So recap, I would only take trades up at 71.53, more or less. Or if we break down, I would like to see a rejection from like 7,200 to keep going down and into the zone at the bottom. Red, any last questions for you?
No, sir. I'm just trying. Like I said, I like to get a 2 3 minute 101 and then I could go from there.
Sounds good, bro. Bueno, pues, I'm gonna let you guys go for now. It was a pleasure speaking with everybody. I know that everybody didn't make it to the end, but I'm glad that a lot of people showed up. It's Friday, so enjoy your evening, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us together. Take care.